Hi, my name's Geraint. This is my third attempt at making a video. The first one was like 16 and a half minutes long, and that's just ridiculous. The second one wasn't much shorter, so I'm going to really try my best to make this concise. Um, uh, I've I've been asked by Aaron to answer a couple of questions. First of all, why I'm learning Welsh. Secondly, how I learned Welsh, and thirdly, how do I feel now? So let's start with why. I'm going to make this really brief because the last two have given a whole family history, which you really don't need. Basically, my dad grew up in a Welsh-speaking family in a Welsh-speaking area. His dad moved up to North Wales with three siblings, and his mum moved. Stayed where they were. So very briefly, my dad grew up speaking Welsh to uh, two siblings and English to two other siblings, which was really strange. So I'd grown up with Welsh in the house a little bit, with my dad speaking to his siblings in a kind of a Welsh. It's not a Welsh area at all, but it's an English speaking area with Welsh place names like Rosron y Rhigog, Llangollen, Fron. So I grew up knowing how to pronounce Welsh, and I knew Welsh existed through my dad. So long story short, having had a failed attempt at learning Welsh in school, because that's just the way it is in schools, or was. So we had a daughter when I turned 40. I'd already had a son 8 years previously. My wife had started learning Welsh through classes, which didn't really go well. One sort of 2 hour lesson once a week, and it didn't really um, make much of a difference. So in 2011, the Eisteddfod come to Wrexham, and we went just for a day out as a family. My daughter was a baby, my lad was 8 years old, and we heard Welsh everywhere on in the Eisteddfod. Welsh slogans on T-shirts, Welsh signs everywhere. It was amazing, and we just kind of wandered into a tent, into a stall, at a company called Say Something in Welsh. I had no real desire to learn Welsh, but I wanted to be able to speak Welsh, but no desire to learn Welsh, if that makes sense. And I spoke to a guy called Iestyn, who is the voice of the South Wales courses, South Welsh, and he talked at me for a few minutes as to why I should learn Welsh. And anybody that knows Iestyn or comes to know Iestyn will know that he likes to talk. So um, yeah, and he convinced me to take a card home and to download the lesson to see how it goes. So I'm now going to answer like why and how in one combination, really. Why I started learning Welsh was basically because Iestyn asked me to. But then when I started learning Welsh, something happened. I started learning, and I started trying these sentences out on my dad, and they worked. He understood. So it's obvious that the course works, and they weren't just teaching me Klingon or something. So as the lessons progressed, and that's the thing with Say to me in Welsh, you can do them as fast as you want, and I was doing them fairly fast. So I started learning more and more Welsh, trying more and more out with my dad, and we ended up having conversations in Welsh, which kind of spurred me on further and further. I wanted more conversations in Welsh with my dad because I saw what a difference it was making to him. We finally had something at the age of 40. I finally had something in common with my dad. I mean, really deep down in common. Obviously, we had a father-son relationship, but this kind of added a new dimension. There was a passion, and he corrected a few things I was saying, and we had a big conversation about that. And anyway, the language flourished, and we had some amazing conversations. 2013, he died, but the the conversations that we had will stay with me forever. It made a massive difference. And then in his funeral, I was talking to his sister, and his sister just told me how proud my dad was that I was speaking Welsh, and how proud he would have been if he knew that I was continuing the journey. So that made a massive difference. I pushed on like nobody's business, really. I decided to push on until I was fluent, which that's a very movable target, really. What is fluency? But so that's why I'm learning Welsh, really, is just through that sort of family pride. And the journey took me, I started going, I tried to go to a boot camp with SSiW in Welsh. I went to a boot camp, and it was an amazing experience. It pushed my speaking ability on so much. It was basically just a week of the odd sentence, loads of ums and ahs, and lots of charades trying to explain certain words to people. Um, it was brilliant. Um, it helped so much. I can do a whole new half an hour video just on boot camps. To be honest, I've subsequently been to another 3, so I've been to 4 in total, all in North Wales, in Welsh-speaking areas. And I started watching television with my daughter, watching children's programs. I started listening to the radio whenever I was in the car, to Welsh radio. I started reading magazines at first, like Lingo Newydd. I started reading books aimed at learners or aimed at children, and then I progressed onto kind of adult novels, which was amazing. They were difficult at first, but everything you try, whether it's radio, watching television, reading, it becomes easier with time, and um, and that's how I learnt Welsh. Really, I go to a learners group in South Seren where we just sit around and have a chat in Welsh. That's helped no end. It really has helped in confidence more than Welsh speaking ability, because it's not like a lesson, we just have a chat, but the confidence it's given me is amazing. So now I can go to places in West Wales on holiday, down the Llyn Peninsula. We can visit Carnarvon or Pwllheli or places like that, and I feel at home. I'm not sure my wife um, kind of understands 100%, but when I go to places like that, I just feel at home, and I feel like I've been accepted into something amazing, a whole different world, which is something you will see as your journey progresses. There's a whole sort of community and a whole what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Sort of culture underground that you don't see if you don't speak Welsh. And it's a shame. I don't get treated any differently because I'm speaking Welsh. Maybe accepted a little bit more, but I can see the difference it's making to other people, and that is just unbelievable. So yeah, seeing this, if you're watching this video, you've obviously gone on the website, which is the first major step, is deciding, do you know what, I want to learn Welsh. So let's have a look what's out there. And you've found probably the best place to start. The support forum is just incredible. And the lessons, as you will soon find out, are just unbeatable. So you can do them as often as you like. You can do them once a week, once a month. You can do 10 lessons a day. It's completely up to you how fast you go. And that's the amazing thing about SSiW in Welsh. The way that it forces a language into your brain. Learning a language isn't easy, but this is an easy way to make a difficult job easier, if that makes sense. You can't speak English anymore. So really, you are doing Wales and the Welsh language a massive favour by learning Welsh. So please, Dalati, you've taken the first step. Carry on going, and you will make a difference. You'll make a difference to me as a, now I like to say, Welsh speaker, and to Aran and Katrin and Iestyn and Kat, who kind of like run the course and they're the voices behind the course, and everybody else that's learnt Welsh before you. It's an amazing thing you're doing, so please keep at it, and let us know on the forum how you're doing. Sign on, introduce yourself, ask questions, but let us know how you're doing. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.